All right, I believe I'm wired. I hope it comes out clearly. It's kind of been getting kind of fuzzy on me for some reason. Anyway, here is my microphone. Making corn tortillas. You need a measuring cup of any size. It doesn't matter. And I'm going to use a half cup, any size small mixing bowl. And then salt, very simple, just a little bit of salt, maybe like about, what is that? Like about an eighth or a little bit more than an eighth of a spoon, teaspoonful. I'm covering these up so I don't spill them because that's what I tend to do. I tend to spill things in the kitchen. So there's that. And now these corn tortillas are gluten-free. And I don't eat them because don't make them because they're gluten-free. They just happen to be, and I'm really happy. I'm looking around for a fork. I need a fork so that I can stir up. Here we go. There's the salt. And, oh, I know what's missing. The water. Wonder what I did with my water. Let's go get some water real quick. You need about the same amount of water that you have for the masa. A little bit less, not all of it, but just a little bit less than whatever you use. There's my water. Can you see it? Okay. There it is. It's in there. Stir it around. Quick and easy. I'm using an electric griddle so that those of you that are going to make them for a gang, your kids, you want to, see, that's not enough. That's like way too dry. I'm going to add a little more. Sometimes I use a measuring cup, and then other times I eyeball it. Okay, stir, 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 mix, 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 and they won't taste like they do at the grocery store because they don't have any additives in them, or preservatives. They don't have any preservatives. I make enough that, for myself, I can leave them in the refrigerator 4 days, 5 days. I make enough. I make little balls is what I do. The dough will form into a ball. Yes, I'm adding more water because I want it to stick together, but not necessarily be sticky. Okay, I think that's good enough for y'all. And you just keep adding a little bit of water. If it doesn't stick together, this is a 1.5 scoop of a cookie dough. It's a cookie dough, but I use it for this because I have fingernails and I don't want to get that under my fingernails. Okay, so here I am making one. It's not quite moist enough. I'm feeling it, so I'm going to add more water to those. But in the meantime, I'm going to make one. Oh, and corn tortillas have to be made on a press. It won't work if you try to do it with a, what's that thing called? Rolling pin. Won't work. Got to use a press. If you're strong enough, you can take this press and press it down. I have to use the handle and press down on the handle. I like that part. Interactive. So here's my corn tortilla, and it's ready to go on a hot griddle. I think it's about 300. In the meantime that that's cooking, I'm looking at this. It's dried out too much. Add a little more water. Keep stirring. So what I do is I make a couple of them. Oh, actually, I make one. Because if I make two, I'll eat two. If I make three, I'll eat three. I don't care if I'm not hungry. They're delicious. So I'm not going to do that. And here I am adding more water and keep stirring it so that you can see once you get your dough made, and you kind of guesstimate the size, you'll learn the size of the ball that you want to make for yourself. I use a scale. And my scale tells me that if I make a little ball that's about 18 grams, I'm moving over here. I'm getting my scale out of, there we go. Turn this on. So I have my scale, and I'm going to zero it out. Put that little piece of paper on there. Oops, fan is blowing. And I'm going to reach in here with my cookie dough ball maker, And I'm going to make kind of a big one. See, that's kind of a big one. That's a big ball. I bet you anything that's going to be about 36 grams. I have it set on grams. 46. Ooh. 46 grams is like about 2 loaves of bread, I think, calorie-wise, as far as a tortilla goes. I believe so. But there it is. So I make a whole lot of these. However many, I think for a half a cup, it makes like about 6 tortillas, which is good if you're making them for your family. If you're only making them for yourself, you can refrigerate, as I say. So here we go. Ready? Another little ball. That one is still cooking. What I'm waiting for is for this to release itself, and it did. Okay, it's released. However, I want it to cook real good around the edges, so that when I turn it over, it will have freckles. It'll have freckles. Yeah, I'm making big balls. That's what I'm going to make. Oh, here's a big giant one. I don't think I'm going to make it that big. And how do I know? I'm going to set it down next to these two guys. Look, you see how much bigger that one is? I think we can reduce it down a little. There we go. Let's reduce it down a little. I have 3 of them about the same size. And I'm going to make another one. These will go in the refrigerator in a little bowl, and they're covered. So I have a little bit left here in the mixing bowl, small mixing bowl. There we go. T90, little one. Enough, put that in the sink. Enough that if I wanted to, I could divide it amongst those. I see this one's kind of small. Let's add it there. And that's too much. Eyeball it. Eyeball it. Okay, what size tortilla am I going to make? There we have 4 of them. So if I were to eat Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I got my week covered for breakfast. I like them for breakfast. How I do fix them in with breakfast is I chop up a lot of lettuce and then maybe a sliver of avocado. Maybe I have some chicken. So they go in the bowl, and any small bowl you have. There we go. I've been making them all day, trying to make a video. So here we have it. The sides have now come up. I'm turning it over. There we go. And that is going to finish cooking. I'm not cooking anymore because I've already made quite a few. So now what I do, as that is cooking, is I'm going to put these up. Did I say that these are H-E-B bags or Great Value bags? That's how you use the press. And this goes put back on the in the cabinet. And all of this goes in the sink. I clean as I go. That's just me. That's just me. So there we have it. And then these things go back where they belong. My salt goes in my spice box. On this side, on that side. Yeah, I'm kind of organized. On that side is my masa and press. Okay, so let's see, how many minutes has that been? I got this done in 8 minutes. Hot dog. I hope you enjoy making corn masa. Instant corn masa tortillas. And how you can use them is plain or spritz a pan, and I say spritz, y'all. I don't mean grease. Just a spritz. One, that's it. Put a tortilla in there, let it crisp, and turn it over, and you can cut it into strips and put it in your soup. Yummy. Well, let's see. I think I'm ready to log off, and you guys keep coming back. I'm going to make more videos for y'all. Let's see, what should the next one be? Well, I already have the bread and the corn. How about some tomato pesto? See y'all.